There's never a dull moment in an airport this size. Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shocking Heathrow, Britain's busiest airport moments. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the craziest things that have happened in this ITV documentary series. Number 10, drunk passenger.
We do have an intoxicated passenger who's refusing to leave the flight, so the police are coming en route.
Bob from Immigration Control has to step out of his comfort zone to deal with an unwell passenger who's refusing to leave his plane. It's not the forgeries he usually handles, but to resolve the situation, all the passengers' documents need to be brought to them. When Bob arrives, he finds out that the passenger isn't unwell at all, but is actually drunk. And in the UK, it's against the law to be drunk on a plane.
Okay, watch out, watch yourself, the chair's there if you want it. It should be easier, no? You want to walk?
However, there's still another twist to this story. The passenger is on some strong painkillers for a chronic back condition. His painkillers have mixed with the alcohol, making him seem like he's had a lot more to drink.
You're very kind.
Number 9, wanted man.
238 Stu.
Oh no. Yeah.
While patrolling Heathrow, officers Dave and Terry get a call that a wanted man is about to land, and they need to head him off at the gate. This requires rushing through the corridors after a last-minute change, means the plane arrives a 20-minute walk from where it was meant to be.
Oh, it's too much walking today, though. It's like being back on street duties.
When they finally get there, after commandeering a buggy, they find out the fugitive is wanted for attempted arson. Luckily, they're able to apprehend him without too much trouble, though he maintains that he hasn't done anything.
Your passport has been scanned and it's shown on the police national computer that you're currently shown as wanted by South Wales Police for the offence of threats to cause damage with arson. You are under arrest.
Regardless, his passport was flagged, so he finds himself in custody in the airport's holding cells. Number 8, medical emergency from Dubai.
We got a medical emergency just come through. As a first responder, we need to be on site.
News of a medical emergency on an incoming flight means Terminal 3's passenger experience manager, Harry, has to pull out all the stops. The passenger is reporting difficulty breathing, and they have to get paramedics to the scene for when the plane arrives.
Do you have any other information, i.e. the condition of a passenger?
Just basically difficulty breathing ongoing for the last half hour.
When it lands, they find out the woman was struggling with a chest infection before boarding and has some symptoms of sepsis. Sepsis, or blood poisoning, is a dangerous condition where the immune system overcompensates and starts to attack the body. Thankfully, paramedics are able to get the passenger to the nearest hospital.
How are you feeling now? You okay? You feeling better?
Number 7, package from Amsterdam.
Cole is trained to find firearms and Class A drugs, so cocaine, heroin and opium.
Sniffer dogs are the bane of criminal organisations worldwide, and Cole, a Springer Spaniel trained to search out Class A drugs, is no exception. Cole is presented with packages and parcels coming from Amsterdam and reacts to one in particular, leading Border Force agents to open it and see what's inside.
Yeah, awesome! Good boy! Yeah, well done!
They found a bag of white powder and initially suspect it might be heroin or cocaine, both things Cole is trained to find. Unfortunately, the package turns out to be powdered amphetamines, still drugs, but most of them are Class Bs. So Cole doesn't get his tennis ball reward in the end.
It's vacuum packed, it's foil, and it is drugs at the end of the day, so there will be similarities between the two.
Number 6, engine failure.
Hey, wait, I'll be pitched out. Full emergency.
A plane bound for New York has to turn around immediately after reporting a major engine failure. The airport is placed on lockdown as personnel from around the area have to get to the runway to meet the plane, preparing for the worst.
And if you just hold position there, please, and contact ground again, 121.855.
Things get tense as police, paramedics, and firefighters have nothing to do but wait. while all other flights in and out are put on hold. The plane is forced to do a heavy landing, which is risky because it means the plane hits the ground with more force than it's supposed to, and with only one engine working. It's a relief when the landing succeeds and the passengers begin to safely disembark.
The systems and plans in place here are so swift and efficient that it's literally over in seconds.
Number 5. Sniffer dog finds drugs.
He's so keen, he never wants to actually stop working. Come on then. Keep on. Good boy.
Cole is back, and this time he's hoping that he'll find something he's trained to. He gets off to a shaky start when he unearths a tea bag inside a letter, but things take a turn for the better when Cole draws attention to a large and suspicious package.
Yeah, there we go.
Hidden inside a Star Wars Lego set, Border Patrol officers find a vacuum-sealed bag of cannabis they suspect is heading to a supplier before it hits the streets. But once again, it's not technically a drug Cole is trained to find. Despite this, he still gets praised for preventing more illegal substances from entering the UK.
Good boy. Yeah, well done.
Number 4. Sniffer dog finds cash.
So Henry here is trained to find large quantities of money.
But drugs aren't the only thing dogs are used to sniff out. Henry is trained to find large quantities of cash that might be the profits from illegal operations.
Do you have any money with you in your bag? Yes. And how much is in here?
High amounts of money have to be declared, so when someone has a few £1,000s in cash that they haven't told border control about, it's an immediate red flag. Henry finds an envelope full of money, which the passenger says is only $1,500. But when it's counted, it turns out to be $5,500.
If that was my money, I'd know how much is in there. You've got no idea how much money's in there, do you?
In the end, though, the passenger is so distressed at the prospect of having the money seized that they believe it's his and let him go through. Number 3. Potential sex trafficking.
I just need to ask you some questions. You are married?
No married.
In immigration control, officers are trained in modern slavery and learn the signs of sex trafficking so that they can identify and then help the victims.
What does your brother do in the UK? What's his job?
Your brother job.
Washing car.
2 passengers coming from Romania, a man and a woman, become suspects because of a 2-week trip with a one-way ticket. They say they've come to the UK to work in a car wash.
I'm concerned, so I want to make sure that she is not being exploited in any way. I want to make sure she is not going to be asked to work in the sex industry. So I want to know, is she being forced to work?
They take them to an interview room and have an interpreter ask a lot of questions to try and find out whether the woman is being trafficked. But in the end, they stick to their story, and the border agents can't find any proof that something is amiss. Number 2. Mid-flight death.
A death on board, which is generally a straightforward procedure, but this is racking my brain.
News that a passenger has died mid-flight reaches Heathrow. The flight from Bangladesh had to stop in Azerbaijan after the passenger sadly passed away from pneumonia, but the unpleasantness doesn't stop there.
Body should have stayed in the country where the person passed away, unfortunately.
The Azerbaijani authorities didn't issue a death certificate, and the deceased passenger was placed in the hold, so they have a body without any paperwork. As the incident is investigated, the passengers aren't allowed to leave.
Take a look yourself how much people are feeling sick.
I understand it.
The longer we care about it, the slower it's going to be.
It's a stroke of luck that a doctor was on board, and he's able to explain to the authorities exactly what happened and then identify the body formally.
It was her wish, because she's a British citizen, to come back to the UK.
This means the situation is resolved much faster and the body can be released to the family. Number 1. Heart attack.
Control, Echo 2, reference, ambulance request, Channel 2, car park.
It's all hands on deck when there's a medical emergency in the departure lounge. A passenger is having a heart attack, so time is of the essence to save his life. Airport staff arrive to begin compressions and use the defibrillator to administer electric shocks while the paramedics are still en route.
Can you stop people coming this way, please? Thank you very much.
It's their swift intervention that enables them to restart the passengers' hearts just as the ambulance gets to the scene.
Come on, mate.
They take over, but it's thanks to Heathrow's well-trained staff that the passenger survives the ordeal and is taken to a hospital where he can make a full recovery. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.